Welcome back, guys. Excuse me, to the MLG stream covering DreamHack Bucharest. We're in MMA Snoot batch right now. Snoot is up 1-0. This is game 2 on Belcher Vestige.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are spawning up here in the top left-hand corner from Team Liquid. It is Snoot. And down here in the bottom right-hand corner, our red Terran player, it is MMA. Cool, so nice little TVZ starting off here.
Yes.
Snoot is up one game against MMA.
And that's a big win. I mean, Snoot has been looking, ever since WCS America Premier League Season 1, he's looked really strong. Of course, he spends his time training in Korea because that's where he believes all the best players are. So that's kind of, it's paying off for him, right? It's absolutely paying off. At least it seems that way.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see what's going on between these two players, what they're going to do. Of course, I'm a Terran player, so I always like watching the pros from this perspective where I can actually control the camera. Well, I mean, you're controlling the camera for the viewers, so there's that. But it's always cool to watch like one of the replays. Like if you have the chance to actually go and find replays of pros and watch from like the Terran's perspective or something like that. Really see, what you can do to change your play. It's one of the favorite things. And MMA is a very, very good Terran player. Curious to see how he's going to play this map. Belcher Vestige, very drop heavy.
Yes, and MMA is a player who's pretty drop heavy as well, so we're definitely going to see a lot of that coming into play. He's a die-hard bio player. The vast majority of TVCs are bio, though. I mean, for example, give me over DRG from like last week's Korea WCS. He was trying some neck play. So you do see it every once in a while, but MMA is not the type of guy to really use mech very much, and especially not against a Zerg player.
Mm-hmm. But mech, it's one of those things that everybody just keeps crying about. I don't know if I should say crying, but everybody really, really wants mech to actually happen.
It pops up here and there.
Yeah, here and there, where it's appropriate.
Yeah.
But so far, Snoot is being pretty laid back. He's got his hatchery underway, just about to finish up here. He's got a spawning pool coming in, and now his gas. And we're going to have to follow what these two players are going to do.
So we do see this Reaper opening from MMA. It's one of the more popular openings against Zerg, along with Command Center First. Probably those two are the most popular TVZ openings right now. The Reaper, it's not obviously as economical as Command Center First, but allows you to really slow down a Zerg progression and get great scout information. You can just be constantly annoying to Zerg, and if they're not 100% on their game, you can get some good damage done. Of course, even if they are 100% on their game, like Snoot is right here, they lose money in mine time, they lose minerals in having to build and cancel these spore cores and extractors, so it's still a good strategy.
Yeah, it's great, and you also, not only do you get, all this harassment done, but you also know exactly what the Zerg is up to. And if you can, spot an early Roachborn or more gas than the Zerg needs at the time, then you're going to be in a really good position to be able to defend that kind of stuff.
Now, this Reaper may have overstayed its welcome. It looks like there's a Queen waiting to cut it off to make sure that it doesn't escape the base. But until then, it's going to run in circles and try to be annoying. Oh, it's going to... Nope. Yeah.
Doubled back for a second. It's now queued into its health regen, so it actually might be able to get out of here.
Wow. That was a sick
I don't know if
move.
that was intentional or not.
MMA has got... he's got his Reapers greased up and everything, man. These guys are slippery.
This Zergling is definitely chasing after it with its tongue out, trying to catch that little Reaper. And unfortunately, it is going to get away. The Queen is going to be frustrated with that as well. It's like that one moment when you botched something. Just, I know I had it. I know I had that Reaper.
Shaking. Poor Zerg shaking its head. Yeah, already got it. Exactly. Now there are two Reapers. There's a second one being made for defensive purposes. They're going to regroup now. Take those watchtowers. That's something that's important. If you don't have anything else to do with your Reaper, stick it on the watchtower. You can see roaches coming across the map. You can see speedlings or any type of threat like that. We do see a couple of roaches being made and fairly early Overlord speed. Of course, Overlord speed is so you can get a good scout of the base out before Marines could take him out. We do have a Viking in production, but here comes that Overlord. He will get a successful scout off.
And with this nice little Hellion and Reaper, he can poke on in here, do a little bit of damage. He's going to see that there are Reapers here, so he's going to have to back up. Get away from these roaches because Hellions and Reapers are really not too good against armored units like the Roach. That's going to be very nice. He's got only a couple out. It's really all he needs to ward this away.
Yeah, he just wants to keep those units back, and you can do that with queens as well, but the nice thing about the roaches is they can actually push them further away from the creep, which allows you to spread your creep a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about the Reaper Helling combination swinging in there and picking off those tumors. The further you push them back, the more space you have to spread that creep behind.
Vikings now coming out here for MMA, trying to take out a couple of these overlords. Always like this maneuver. It's very nice. Denies map vision, denies supply, and also takes out those nice overlords that have 100 minerals to their name.
That's right. I mean, think about the cost of the Viking. It's definitely going to get a lot more overlord kills. He's
already killed one.
Yeah, I don't know if he spotted this one down here or not. I felt he did, but then I don't think he's actually going to.
There's yet another one.
We'll
so we're already up to 200 minerals lost here for Snoot.
And it's the map vision too. It helps your drops later on. Those overlords are so important to stopping drops, and more and more tier 1 players nowadays are really using those Vikings to deny those overlords. And then once those overlords are denied, you know, your drops are much more successful.
So here comes a nice little drop ship. He's trying to put on a fake pressure to the third base so that this Widow Mine drop can get right on into the main base unimpeded. There are a couple of Zergling and Queens there, though, and a Spore Crawler, so he's going to be able to detect these.
Well, we'll see how good a drone split is actually. He's already waiting for it. There's some speedlings. And the Widow Mines, is he even going to drop them? I think he probably shouldn't at this point. At least
he
not
might
here.
just want to back away.
Yeah, if he can find
his way.
his way
He does see the Spore Crawler at the natural, and oh, is that the nice little spot? It looks like that's the spot for now. Maybe another Queen's going to come in here and try and intercept it. Yeah, it looks like it's fine for now.
And the Reaper Helling Force back again, starting around. Both players are very even in the rate upgrades. Oh no, Snoot! Where's your Roach Squad? The drones are super exposed here, and all kind of damage being done. Of course, distracted by the Widow Mine that was laid down there, and that really paid itself off. He's going back again. Another Widow Mine being deployed. Run, drones! Brave drone.
One brave drone. I don't know if he's really brave though. If he's being controlled by the Overmind.
That's true.
He's like, he pretty much doesn't have a choice. Just oh, this is gonna hurt.
Only Protoss and Terrans can be brave.
Right.
Zergs just
do what they're told.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Exactly. Very obedient creatures are the Zerg for the most part.
I say we petition for the rights of drones and Zerglings.
Yeah. Who do we petition? Kerrigan?
Like,
won't you rip your head off?
I guess. It's a bit brutal.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're like...
I mean, we could have just, you know, just got her out of her position of leadership, but, you know, rip her head off. Yeah, I guess that works, too.
Yeah.
Third base going down here for MMA. Going to get denied here by all these Zergling that have got a really nice surround around it. It's just going to have to lift off because that's what Zergs, Terrans can do. Nice little Hellion drop going on straight into the main base. Going to try and get some drones. They're going to line them up. But are they actually going to get any kills? A couple of really good hits go down there. Looks like 3, 4, 5 so far. 6.
Oh, not done yet. There's another 3, I think, right there. And another.
Lined right back up yet again. And that's going to bring the total to 20 so far for MMA.
And that is brutal, man. I mean, it's not like he's made sacrifices to use these Hellion drops, use the Widow Mine drops, and of course the Hellion run by into third base. You know, Snoot's been playing a great game, but MMA's just been a little bit sharper with his harass, and Snoot's been with that defensive harass. And MMA's been finding weaknesses, and he's been just grabbing them and just unloading a lot of damage to Snoot. Oh, Zergin spots his triple drop. What does Snoot have to respond to this, though? He's down by almost 30 supply here. Queens are not going to be enough. They do take out one of the medevacs.
I mean, he's got 4 roaches. He's got 1 Zergling. He's trying to pump out a whole bunch of Zergling, and they are going to be able to come out just in time. Widow Mine hit does not do that much here, but he does do enough damage to ward away those 2 drops. Did just get word. We did get the replays for Crank and Innovation. Not sure if we're going to be able to get into them before the next series, but if we do have downtime...
I mean, this is the last series of Stage 2s, and it's probably going to be at least an hour or so. Maybe we can use that to grab those Crank Innovation games. So we'll check out those after the series is done. Meanwhile, we do have MMA just continuing to pressure on both sides. The creep is really not where Snoot wants it to be. There's no 4th base on the way either. MMA is just controlling this map in a absolutely dominant fashion. And
even these Mutalisks don't even have the ability to get in and try and deny these medevacs really too well. The medevacs are all staying alive pretty well, and the double drops just continue to come in. It looks like for now MMA is going to pull back. He does see the Mutalisk out there. He knows that there's air control out here for Snoot, so he knows that medevac drops right now might not be the smartest of ideas.
Exactly. He also knows he has an advantage throughout the game. He's going to consolidate his forces. He was a little bit later than Snoot on the 2-2, so Snoot's going to have a small upgrade advantage going forward, at least for the next minute or so. But MMA, his army is just, I mean, he's got that 30 extra supply. Now, a lot of that is in production, and that almost makes it worse. He has so many units in production. Even more infrastructure coming up here. Look at the barracks, the 4th command center. Snoot really needs that 4th base, and MMA just not let him have it.
Baneling's getting some really nice hits here. Widowmines are trying to go down. There's not that great splitting. Now here comes a really good split out of MMA, but he's still losing so many forces right now. The Widowmines have been cleaned up as well. The Marines are just not present to really ward off all of these Mutalisks, and the Mutalisks get away pretty unscathed. There are a couple of forces at the 3rd base, but they're going to get cleaned up really well, and only 24 workers killed, so that's only been a total of 4, but there's another double drop in the main base. More units coming in here. The Banelings are gone. The Mutalisks are going to have to clean this all up, but he does pick up from the drop ship, and he's going to try and get away here. He's going to drop down over here at the 4th base and pressure the other 4th base. So 5th base, 6th base, or I can't count.
You know, Snoot's doing a great job of double expanding. So yes, he's going to lose this hatchery, but he's traded very well in these last several engagements. He cleaned up that drop, and now he's on the 4 bases. So
yeah,
the last minute or two, Snoot's really done what he's needed to in these engagements. A lot of Widowmines have been kind of lured into shooting their own friendly Marines there. Paintings are pretty angry.
Zergling attack at the 3rd base here of MMA. Snoot doing some damage. Those Zergling are tearing apart those SCVs. And Snoot's MMA's forces are so far removed, they can't really do that much. There's a couple of them coming out here now from the barracks to try and deal with this, but that's not enough Marines to deal with all those Zergling. And these Zergling are doing a lot of damage.
Very, very cost efficient. Small moves like this is exactly how Zerg gets back in the game, and all of a sudden, from being down 30 supply, I mean, economically behind, Snoot is now up 20 supply, and I think he's...
The 3rd base!
No! MMA!
MMA is falling apart at the seams here. Everything's being completely eviscerated by Snoot's forces. Snoot poking and prodding exactly where he needs to. That defense from before is definitely paying off right now.
It's actually, this game is switched around so massively. Snoot, even his hive is on the way, taking a 5th base now, clearing up the Widowmines. MMA has got to do something. Taking on this 4th would be a great start to it. Snoot actually never even put drones there, so I guess in one way it wouldn't be the hugest loss, but he still wants to have that option to mine from that base. There's 4 Widowmines, but they're kind of clumped. They may, lifting them up because they were going to backfire massively there if not. And, a couple hits damaging a good amount of the Marines. Now the Mutants might actually be able to clean this up.
Yeah, the Mutants have absolutely no problem going in once they know all the Widowmines have spent their charges, and with that, there's not much that MMA can still do here. 158 to 141 in the food count here for for Snoot over MMA. And Snoot is sitting in a really good position. He's now starting Zerg Flyer level 2. So many Banelings coming in here.
Oh, Snoot's got to be careful. Nice baiting hits and gets it back with the Mutas before the Marines can tear them apart too much. Snoot now up by over 30 supply. There is a nice little attack on a 3rd, but actually, these units have no medevacs. They're all going to be torn apart by the Banelings.
Oh, the Banelings are able to clean them up, but he did take a number of losses here. Not too much in the workers killed. It's only another 5, but he did lose yet another base again. And MMA still, though, is at 120 in food, and this is starting to get a little bit barren here for him.
That one speeding run by, I mean, it got like 4 or 5 depots, a lot of SCVs. He even lost the orbital to the speedings there, and that's such a strong blow. MMA is going to have 3 in seconds here, and it's often when Tyrion can really take control of the map and press that upgrade advantage. But Snoot is actually Hive Tech, and he's working on his own 3-3, so in a few minutes he'll be equal. Coming in right here, there's not too many Widowmines, and there's a couple Banelings not getting the hits Snoot really wanted, but the Mutas are still just continually dishing out damage, and they're backing away before they take too many losses.
Oh, but I don't know if that attack was worth it. Look at it, the food has completely evened out. There's just so many Marines out here. Marines are a pretty good unit. They're able to ward off most of that damage there. and deflect that massive loss that could have been if he lost that third base yet again.
Oh, I mean, that would have been a death blow there. He's still able to produce Marines 15 at a time, now getting Drilling Claws, which could be huge, enabled his Widow Mines to unburrow and burrow, or actually just burrow significantly faster. Coming in here, a lot of Marines. Snoot needs some baitings. He does have a decent number. More being morphed in here. Uh-oh! No! Oh, so
that
many
was
banelings.
less than fortunate. He forgot about that Widow Mine, and here comes the Banelings trying to get connects, but MMA is splitting like a pro now.
Man, back and forth this game is going.
Back into being the Terran-dominating person that I expect him to be. The Mutalists trying to pick off the Medivacs, but they are not going to be too successful. So many, actually, really good Baneling hits going to come in here. The Mutalist still focusing down those Medivacs. He needs to get those numbers down, but he's taking too many hits from those Marines and backs off. There's a drop in the main base as well, trying to do as much damage as possible. The Hive has gone down as well. Oh no, I'm sorry, the Hive's at the third base. I take that back.
Yes.
I was going to say, I totally didn't miss that, did I?
Yeah, no, he hasn't quite gotten any hat-trick.
But no Adrenals lands.
Yeah, you know, Snoot's been pretty hard pressed. He's never really had a fourth base up. And it could be one of those things. He's like, you know what? I needed 2 extra meters right now over that Adrenal Glands upgrade. Drones are being butchered here. This game has gone from MMA dominating to Snoot dominating. Now it looks like the ball is significantly back in MMA's court. Snoot on the 3 bases. MMA retaking this base. I'll put him up to 4. And Snoot needs some decisive baiting hits.
But the Mutalists just move right on into a huge, massive Marines. And even though these Banelings are doing so much damage, it is not really enough to save the game. MMA takes game number 2 here.
Tying it up.
3.
Yeah, 1-1. I remember Snoot did win that first game. We'll come and see if he can, who's going to take that game 3. Of course, both these players are advancing to the group, but whoever wins this series gets that number 1 spot, the better seed. That's important. We're going to find out game number 3 coming up.